It absolutely feels great to have some power yet again. Finally, I guess depending on what way you look at it, I want to thank you guys for helping grow the second channel, Young Group of 5'9" Entertainment, where we lead with the culture, the geek stuff. Today we're going to be talking about something that HBO Max. Let's start there. HBO Max is coming out with a bunch of stuff pertaining to DC Comics. A lot of stuff is being housed there now on HBO Max. You had the shift kind of from the DC universe thing to whatever's going to be happening over at HBO Max, and we're starting to get some new stuff that is going to be dropping out dropping. And this came across my Twitter because finally we got our first look yesterday at what is going to be Aquaman, King of Atlantis. So this looks to be the cartoon sort of animation style that they are seeming to go with. Mira also has a unibrow. Where do I start? I get it. The cow arts thing is kind of the thing to do now with American animation, as terrible as it is. But it's the thing to do, and it's often adopted nowadays. Maybe it's because it's cheap to make, easier to animate, and thus we haven't seen the actual animation itself. But look, you can kind of see that this ain't even just the art style in general is not. I certainly didn't ask for that, and I'm not sure who asked for that. Look, the whole goofy aspect of American animation and the direction that it's been going. I mean, there are people out there that still, for example, watch Cartoon Network, sadly, and you can see how just it doesn't even matter if you're watching the regular Cartoon Network. I don't know what the hell's going on over there, or Adult Swim. Just American animation right now is in a very bad spot. You get some things that will pop up every now and then, even in this art fashion kind of. I know Adventure Time had its thing and it was decent, and but obviously we've already hit peak American animation. I think that happened around the 90s when you were getting definitely peak comic book era animation. The glory days are certainly behind us when it comes to this, because oh god, this looks terrible. This looks unbelievably terrible, and it's hilarious because DC, that's the one spot that they've been doing a decent job at, is the animation stuff. DC animated, definitely the films have been top tier. You want to talk about respecting source material, being definitely the more adult oriented themes, that makes it digestible. Let's backtrack a little bit. You remember, if you go look at my podcast, For Canon's Sake, right, and you'll see that in that podcast we talked about there was one episode where we talked to X-Men the animated series screenwriters and showrunners, Eric and Julia Lewald, and they talked about how they never wrote anything down to the audience. And that's what it feels like is happening right now, is that people, they're writing down to the audience. Not just in the type of animation that they're doing, but just in the stories, the nature of it. And this is what happens. You get these goofy people on these projects that shouldn't be anywhere near these, and yet they set them up here, and they get these projects, and they put it out, and people like me do videos like, what the hell? Who is this for? Wow, look at this, man! Like, why? Look at this! Look at the everything from the fingers on down. Like, it looks terrible. So Mira looks like a pig with a unibrow. Like, what is this? Like, who is this for? Who is this for? And see, look, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I know everybody that's a part of this project. What I will say is that it does seem that with a lot of nerd geek culture stuff, there's a lot of people that are getting a part of these projects that don't really have any connection to it, if you will, or have rather more people that have no connection to it. So it's more about warping brands into what they want it to be instead of respecting what it is that they are. So I'm not saying this is exactly what it's getting, but it's getting the same treatment that we got with some of these recent other fandoms, or rather more, not the fandoms themselves, but more of the actual properties. Where we're getting these goofy versions with his Thundercats. You got that with She-Ra. Like, I don't know what direction that they're going with the American animation, but it ain't in the good direction. Let's say that. So, I mean, I just wanted to kind of relay that news for you guys that were maybe looking forward to Aquaman King of Atlantis that was going to be appearing on HBO Max. It looks like that.